So what we're going to talk about today is a method of strength training that I use with about 95% of my clients. And the reason that I use it is it's super effective and it's easy to remember. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about push, pull, squat. Push, pull, squat defines the 3 moves that you need to understand to be able to build the program that's going to keep with you for the rest of your life. Once you learn it, it becomes really simple and quick to put together a sequence of exercises that you can use. We're all familiar with the push-up, or many of you have seen people do kind of bench presses where they push the weight away from their body. And that is the key. A push exercise, the weight has to be moving away from the mass of your body, so you're pushing the weight away. So you can use a set of bands with handles, something you might have at home or you can get on Amazon. And you can do a push like this, so you're working the chest muscles. Or another push could be a shoulder press. I like to sit on an exercise ball. That adds a bit of core stabilization to this one, but it's still a push because the weights are being pushed away from the body. And even a tricep extension exercise, working a smaller muscle, is an example where the weight is moving away from the body and is thus a push. So push, pull, squat, right? You did the push, now we're gonna move on to the pull. So if we grab those bands again, you can do a standing row where you're pulling those handles into your body. Or you could potentially do a one-handed row on a cable machine. I like to get into a split stance for a little bit of a balance challenge, and then use one arm at a time, pulling the weight into the body. Or you could do a cable pull down, where you reach overhead and pull the weight down to your chest. In all cases, you're taking this weight and you're pulling it into your body. So we did a push, we did a pull, and now it's on to the squat. Let's start with something you can do pretty easily at home and something I use with a lot of my clients when they're just starting out, and that is a wall squat. Essentially, you're going to bring your feet away from the wall. You're going to slide down into a seated position, making sure that your hips are not below your knees and your toes are in front of your knees. If you take a look at what I'm doing here, you'll see the proper position. I have my clients do the wall squat for time. Typically, we start with 30 seconds and work up to 3 sets of 60 seconds. Then we can move into a squatting exercise, and a really great one to start with is a simple standing squat, okay? You can put your arms out in front of you or over your head. Your legs are hip width apart, and you're gonna drop into a squat with control, not too fast here, and your core is going to be nice and firm. The idea is you go into this squat and you repeat it 15 times, 20 times, really until you start to feel a bit uncomfortable and you know it's time to stop. So how does this work in the real world? Well, let me tell you. I'll share kind of what a workout might look like if you were working with me. I'd ask you to come 5 minutes before and hop on a cardio machine. I want your heart to start pumping and your blood flowing, get those muscles kind of warmed up. From there, we would move into a dynamic stretching routine. And you can look that up, or maybe we'll do a video on that later on. And that's really just, again, to get the body ready for the work that's going to come. Then we'd move into 2 sets of push, pull, squat. Set 1 would be maybe a push-up followed by a shoulder press and a wall squat. And we would do each of those exercises 3 times for 10 to 12 reps. Then we would move into set B, and the push in set B might be a band push, and then we might do a single arm split stance pull, and then maybe the standing squat. That would be a push, pull, and a squat. And again, we would do each of those exercises 3 times, and we would do 10 to 12 reps. That's a push, a pull, and a squat. And once you understand those 3 moves and how to put them together, you are on your way to building your own workouts and really understanding what you're doing. It will create something that you can kind of use for the rest of your days. Taking better care of yourself doesn't have to be hard or complicated. I've made several videos, simple tips for better fitness, and I'm going to link one here that you might be interested in.